Welcome to It Was Never You, where we talk about narcissist, complex PTSD, and recovery. Let us have a conversation about grieving the end of a relationship with a narcissist. In the past videos, I've talked about how the relationship ends. It's not usually clear cut. Let me be careful with my wording. Sometimes it can be, sometimes it isn't. You go back and forth multiple times. And I think, this is just my opinion, the grieving process lasts much longer with a narcissist is because they do dangle that carrot on a stick, where they will say, I love you, but, and we know what happens if somebody says, I love you, but they're going to list all the ways that they don't love you or the reasons why they don't love you, because love is meant to be unconditional. So you love somebody with their faults, with their weaknesses, and you play on their strengths to get their, to kind of offset their weaknesses, and you work together as a team. A narcissist isn't able to do that to some extent. They play on your weaknesses to downplay your strengths, so they actually do the opposite. And in the beginning of their relationship, during the love bombing stage, you've probably given them enough ammunition and information for them to be able to play on your weaknesses. So the grieving process tends to last a lot longer because they will throw you that little nicety or that little carrot on a stick. Well, this would have worked out if you would have done this, or if you would have done this, or if you would have done that. So then you hold out hope, or maybe they've given you a day where they've been nice to you, or they've financially provided in some fashion, and they've made a gesture towards you. So it's kind of like somebody that, what is the wording? Strings you along. They string you along and they keep you going, and it's done in a purposeful manner to keep you under their. Remember, for a narcissist, it's about power and control. They want to gain control over somebody. They want to have power over somebody. They don't view relationships as reciprocal. It is about them and their needs come first. So I've seen a lot of relationships with toxic people where somebody is going through one of the hardest moments in their life, and instead of rallying around them, the narcissist will just completely discard them because they actually have no use for them, and they just don't want to deal with an issue right now. So they'll just bail, or whatever selfish reason that they can come up with. But the grieving process it becomes like a stumbling block. Know that if this is, I do believe it is normal, you take 2 steps forward and then you take a step back, is because they know how to reel you in and to give you that little thing that you need to get entrenched back into their reality, into their mindset. And then you are thinking, well, if I would have just done this, if I could have just changed that. But I'll tell you, if you change every single thing that they want, they're going to find something new. And you can try it and you can test it out. They won't ever be satisfied because they mask this calm coolness, masks their lack of self-identity. A narcissist is usually somebody that has been through trauma. Not in all cases, but they have been through significant trauma where they have had to create this kind of alter persona in order to function in the world. And it shrouds their insecurities and weaknesses that they view as, instead of something that they need to self-reflect on and work on, they've kind of hidden all those things, so they aren't able to see themselves for the reality that they are. They aren't able to see the selfishness. So that is a kind of personality that you are dealing with. So no matter what you do, and you can test it, no matter what you do, there will always be something more that there will be another condition and another limit set on their love for you. So the grieving process tends to take longer. So I think the realization of who you're dealing with, and I do have to say, PSA, never tell a narcissist you're a narcissist. Don't flat out call them and say, this is what you are, I've read it in a book, because it will get turned around on you. And I'd just like to mention that. So you realize what they are. You're probably going to be filled with anger. And I think blame to a certain level is needed to put that person in their box, or their behaviors in their box, so you can see exactly what you need to work on. So everything needs to be in order. And then the grief comes to help you to overcome the ending of that relationship. And it's something that you have to work through. And if you go through stages of grief repeatedly until the feelings subside, that's okay. But know that if they are present in your life, and because the attraction, the connection with a narcissist for some reason is so very strong, it's more difficult to break that tie. And it's more, another thing that makes it so difficult is and I guess what I'm leading to and concluding by all this is, the narcissist does not allow you the gift of closure. See, closure in ending of relationships is very important. So you sit and you have a conversation and you say, well, this isn't working, and we've tried everything that we can, and that's it, and this is the end. With a narcissist, because they are giving you this little tidbits of, if you did this, or they're being nice, or they're just staying in your life, they're just hovering, and you know that like subconsciously that they're there, they're watching your social media, they have the ability to show up whenever they want, they have your number, they can call you. It doesn't allow you to have that closure, and they hide whether they've moved. Sometimes they hide whether they've moved on, or they've deleted you from their social media platform, so you can't really see what they're doing with their life. Everything is based on conjecture, which leads to confusion, which leads to no closure, which continues the grief process, and you start over and over again, and you're not able to fully let go. We have to ask ourselves, why am I not able to fully let go of this person? You may feel a strong pull. Well, I really, really miss them. Well, let's break it down. What exactly do you miss? And oftentimes it'll be things that are not relating specifically to that person. Like, what do you love about this person? What exactly is it? Well, I love having somebody in my life, but you're not saying anything specific about that person. I love hugging. I love having someone to hold me. That's not specific to that person. You can buy a body pillow and it can have the same type of effect on you. What do you love about the narcissist? What do you miss about them in your life? How have they helped you to better yourself in your life? How have they worked together with you? How have they communicated in an effective way to get an argument resolved? How have they sat and actually, after the love bombing stage, after that garbage is over, how have they sat and listened to you and been there? Has it been one-sided? Has it been reciprocated? Were you a team? Was there unconditional love? If you messed up, did you have to walk on eggshells? Were you confused a lot around them? Were you always wondering where they were? Did you feel bad around them? Did they tell you that you were? What positive did they bring to your life? Or is it just a repeat cycle of something, a repeat cycle of a relationship from before, that from childhood, that you're trying to heal? Like, we gotta break it down. So I miss the narcissist. I miss the toxic person. What exactly is it that you miss about them that nobody else on this earth can provide you? And I know it's very difficult to start over. I know it's difficult to have this idea that now I have to start over again. But and if you're willing to live this life of going back and forth and being put in these positions and feeling the way that you feel, then that's okay. It is your life. You are an adult and you have the right to do what you want. But you gotta break it down, the grief. Allow yourself to feel it and give yourself the closure that you need, that you know they will not provide because they want to keep you entrenched in their reality and in their mindset and in their lives like a toy. I hope that helps somebody, and we will see you the next time.